Hi, this video is about the Caribou Mathematics Contest. I'm going to show the solution for the February 2015 Grade 9-10 Contest, Question 7. Alright, now the question is, in a 24-hour time period, starting shortly after midnight to midnight of the next day inclusive, how many times do the hour hand and minute hand lay directly on top of each other on an analog clock? Okay. So shown here is just a normal clock, but more specifically it is the starting position, which is shortly after 12 midnight, where the hour hand and the minute hand are both a bit past the 12. Okay, and just like a regular clock, the minute hand moves a lot quicker than the hour hand does. Okay, so their first overlap would be roughly about an hour later. Okay, so now about an hour later, the hour hand would be on the 1, and let's say the minute hand would be on the 12. Okay, now the minute hand would need 5 minutes to catch up to the hour hand, and when it would do that, then the hour hand would already be a bit past 1. So let's say 6 minutes past 1, and then the minute hand will also catch up to the hour hand because it is a lot quicker, and that means their first overlap will be roughly around 6 minutes past 1, so around here. Okay, alright. And now for the second overlap, which is again roughly an hour later, where the hour hand would be on the 2, and let's say the minute hand would be on the 12, then the minute hand would need now not just 5 minutes, but it would need 10 minutes to catch up, where the hour hand would be not just this distance, but double that distance away, where the minute hand would then have to catch up, and then they would overlap a bit after 2. Maybe, let's say around 12 minutes, 11 or 12 minutes after 2. So around here. Okay, and now the same thing for the third overlap. That will happen a bit after this distance, which is around here. And then the same thing for the 4, a bit after that distance, that's around here. And then here, now for the 5, it will be less than half past 5, so a little bit before, around here. But now, after the 6, for this overlap, it would be after half an hour past 6, which is around right here. And then for the 7, a bit past that distance is around here. Now for the 8, a bit past that distance is around here. Past that distance is around here. And finally, this is around here. And now, for the next overlap, it would be exactly at noon. Because then the hour hand would be on the 12 and the minute hand would also be on the 12, so that because the minute hand wouldn't have to catch up on anything, on any time. And now to complete a 12-hour period, then the minute, again, we will be in the starting position where the hour hand is a bit after the 12 and the minute hand is a bit after the 12. Okay, so now let's see how many overlaps we had in a 12-hour time period. Okay, so we had our first overlap, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11 overlaps. So therefore we had 11 overlaps in a 12-hour time period. But from the question, we want to find out how many overlaps we will have in a 24-hour time period. And now a 24-hour time period is double the 12-hour time period. So now for the second half of that 24-hour time period, we would again have to be in the same starting position, which is a bit after 12, so that we don't include that overlap, and so that the hour hand and the minute hand are exactly as shown a bit after 12. So then for that the next 12-hour time period, again, we will have these same overlaps. And then finally, after 24 hours, shortly after midnight of the next day, we will arrive in the same position where the hour hand and the minute hand are shortly after the 12. So therefore we will have again another 11 overlaps. So therefore in total we will have 11 plus 11 is 22 overlaps of the minute hand and the hour hand. If you'd like to know more about this contest, please feel free to visit our website at cariboutest.com.